Shabbat Hagadol Shalom. This week's Torah reading is Tzav. Tzav is a verb with the root, tzadi, vav. Most, though, have much more familiarity with the noun form, mitzvah. In Hebrew, tzav means command, and mitzvah means from command or commandment. The word tzav's origins, though, are in the Aramaic word tzavta, meaning connection. While the Hebrew word tzav is translated as meaning command, the purpose of the commandments is to help us connect better with God and good. There are, though, different types of commandments. A parent might say to a child, if you are going to go bike riding or skateboarding or rollerblading or whatever, if you are going to go, then you need to wear your helmet. If the child is not choosing to go rolling around as such, though, then she does not have to wear her helmet to stay home and listen to music, read a book, write a letter to grandpa, or whatever. A parent might also say to a child, you need to brush your teeth before bed. There is no if involved there. The child is commanded to brush his teeth, and he must do so. There are commandments that we must follow, we must do, period. And there are commandments that if we are going to choose to do a certain something, then we are commanded to do so in a certain way. There is also a difference between commandments and rituals. There is nothing wrong with rituals in concept. Rituals can help deepen experiences, but rituals are not commandments. We may not adhere to rituals of practices of the past we do not need to do and do not do, but throughout the ages we have developed what once were new rituals that still have meaning and value to us today. In fact, so much of what many actually think are commandments are actually rituals, and they are not required. But they can serve to enhance our experiences, particularly religiously. It is, however, quite important to learn the differences between that which is actually commanded to be done, period, and that which is commanded to be done in a certain way if we are going to choose to so do, and that which is not even commanded but is ritual, tradition. Tzav provides details regarding various commandments. In particular here, Tzav provides details regarding the 7 main categories of sacrifices that may be done, as that was the way of the world in those times. This parsha clearly states, Zot Torah. This is the ritual. This is the way. This is the way to do it if it is going to be done. God is instructing Moses, who is instructing Aaron, regarding if and when such sacrifices will be made, then there are these commandments on how to so do, if so being done. If means one may. It may be done, and then in a certain way. But may does not mean must. May indicates that there is a choice, not a requirement. As such, laws are actually not necessarily requirements. For example, there are laws that on certain roads there are certain speed limits. But if you do not choose to drive on a certain road, then you do not have to worry about obeying that speed limit on that road. There are laws in this country regarding hunting. But if you so well choose to not go hunting, then you do not have to follow those laws. There are rules in this country, as well as in the Torah, for farmers, and there are rules for doctors, etc. And if you are not a farmer or a doctor or whatever, then you need not worry about those laws. There are laws for Kohanim. And if you are not a Kohen, then you need not worry about those laws. Poignantly, by the way, in this parsha, the fire on the altar that is to be kept burning has been seen as a sign of how a fire in the heart of the Kohanim must similarly be kept burning. The religious leader's enthusiasm for the sacred nature of his religious responsibilities and his commitment to God, to Torah, to goodness, must so always burn. While not everyone need follow the rules for the Kohanim, everyone should follow rules given here for purity. Tzav speaks about the importance of purity, be it the purity of what one sacrifices, or be it the purity of the one who is doing the sacrificing. as it says here, Kol tahor, only one who is pure may. Thus, we should consider, what does it mean to be so pure? Which certainly could be a long sermon for another time. And while the Torah here is not requiring for us to eat animals, it is not outright prohibiting it either, but boundaries are being placed that are strongly communicated. V'chol dam lo tochlu, that you must not consume any blood, is repeatedly communicated. And while blood is used in the consecration here, it is so strongly communicated that blood is not to be consumed. Blood is God's, not ours. We are to live life, not take life. We are to recognize Zot HaTorah. These are the rituals. After giving the rules of such rituals from God to Moshe to Aaron, Moshe gathers the community together, and he, as a symbol, a symbolic purification and consecration as part of their ordination here, Vayakrev Moshe et Aaron v'et banav. Moses brought Aaron and his sons forward. Vayirchatzotam b'mayim, and washed them with water. Levite responsibilities are represented here as such, with Moses being the Levite that he is, and Aaron and his sons being the Kohanim, with their holy religious leadership responsibilities. The ceremony does have Moshe dabbing blood on the ridge of Aaron's ear symbolically, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. Why the ear, the thumb, and the big toe? And why those on the right side? Well, we read Hebrew from right to left. We are to start off our steps for the Amidah on the right foot. In English, the homonym of right and right helps make it so clear. The right side represents that which is right. As to why the ear, the thumb, and the big toe, the right ear can be seen as representing how we need to rightly listen. The right thumb can be seen as representing how we need to rightly do. The right big toe can be seen as representing how we need to rightly go. As Kohanim, we have the responsibility to religiously lead, and we thus so need to listen, do, and go rightly with holiness. Ushmartem et mishmeret Adonai. We need to keep the Lord's charge. And I will leave you with that to ponder this Shabbat, Shabbat Hagadol. And please do be sure to check out the Passover video posted earlier this week in Getting Ready for Passover. Also, please be sure to check out the videos from last Passover, which is when, thanks to Reuben, these videos began. You can find all these at youtube.com/Bnai Tov, Bnaitov. YouTube.com/Bnai Tov is where you will find this video and previous videos such as earlier this week, Getting Ready for Passover, and the very first of this series of Passover videos from last year. Please do check them out and spread the word to others. And I will now wish you L'Shabbat Shalom V'Lachag Pesach Sameach.